What's up, guys? Borderlands 3 is here. I'm a big fan of the series, and so far, at least through about 10 hours, big fan of this game, but that was expected because, you know, big fan of the series, and I didn't think they'd make any big changes. This, of course, is not going to be a full review. It would be asinine to do so with such a small sample size and such a small time frame of the game being released, so any of those websites you see putting up reviews already are completely bizarre. But what I did want to talk about was a quick preliminary analysis of what I've seen in through the playthroughs, quick quality of life changes that I think are the big positives. And I haven't really encountered anything glaringly negative yet, but of course if I encounter them, because I am a very objective person in playthroughs and reviews of just about everything I do, I will discuss it into the future. So first things first, quality of life changes. You're actually going to see a pretty unique example of it just in a second here as you kill this guy. Normally in most of the other Borderlands series, there wouldn't be, like in Destiny 2, there wouldn't be a way for if you lost a legendary for it to be sent to a mailbox. And I'm not sure it actually happens here. Pretty sure it does, at least I can remember at the E3 playthrough, but I haven't actually experienced that yet myself. But what you can see is that it shows up on the minimap. So no longer do you have to worry about scanning an area multiple different times, because you will see it on the minimap before you dropped. I'm playing as the character Zane. What I like about him is he gives you a bit of versatility, but I mean most characters and most different skill trees are going to give you that bit of versatility. But in his case here, he has sort of like Destiny 2's Titan in the shield that you shoot through, which gives you a damage buff and of course blocks incoming projectiles. That's what I've gone with early on. He does have a drone skill tree, which I am going to try out into the future. And he has one where he basically has a sort of a clone of himself that works for distractions, and of course I will try both. I do plan on doing a melee character into the future, but I'm not sure if Zane's skill trees are really spec'd for melee, so I might have to try a different character. We'll see how that goes. Things I like, of course, so far are the sliding feature. It's similar to Battlefield 1 if you played it. It allows you to really bend around turns and just really unleash a whole bunch of what makes Borderlands, the series, great. Just pure chaos with all sorts of bizarre weapons. Like, look at this. This weapon in the background here explodes on contact on reloads, but if you reload it before, it goes and seeks out enemies, shoots and flanks all on its own, which is so bizarre, but it's quintessential Borderlands. It's exactly why you're here in the first place. There's also a climbing feature. I hope it's illustrated in the video. If not, I can actually point it out into the future. If you hop toward a ledge and you click jump and then you click jump again, you'll actually be able to jump onto a ledge. So when you're traversing across levels now, you no longer really have to worry like it was in the other Borderlands, where if you were just short of reaching the ledge, you'd fall. In this case, it doesn't work that way now. You can actually jump onto the ledge, and I'm glad that a lot of FPS games are doing this. It's a feature that once one game started, most of the other FPSs were wise to latch on and adapt that different feature to it. A lot of guns now have special features that extend their longevity. So say for example you're, like in this case here, I'm level 7. Normally you'd reach level 8 or 9, you'd find any weapon you could just to keep up with your level, but in this case here there's added versatility. So pistols not only would have, say, single fire, but you can also switch to burst fire. Some of them have, instead of bullets, you can shoot rockets, which is crazy. So it just gives more of a reason to hang on to weapons even if it isn't perfectly leveled for you, which is nice, because that way you don't have to rely exclusively on just farming certain points just to keep the level up. It's a nice addition. I actually like that. There's the other addition now that when you shoot enemies with, say, shotguns or grenades, if it doesn't outright kill them, it staggers them, which allows basically a new element of combat added into the game, where you no longer just have to shoot and he tanks it and pushes into you. You can now like throw a grenade, knock them off balance, flank, shoot, and use the slide as we previously talked about. It's a nice adaptive form of combat that was added in. Gameplay-wise, it feels like it's pretty well optimized. I have a really old PC because I haven't played many video games recently or upgraded in the last couple of years, so it still plays pretty well above 60 frames at like medium settings for me, and my stuff all needs an upgrade, but I don't have the money for it now. But I've noticed a couple of decent frame drops, but it's to be expected in most levels where there's a lot of combat and a lot of things going on the screen. But it has been pretty good so far. And well, that's really all I had. I told you it was going to be brief. I'll go in far greater depth and discussion as more information comes to my hands as I continue to play it through. But this is a good intro video back into the YouTube game. I've been out of it for a year and a half, 2 years. Lots of busy life changes and just not a lot of games I felt like playing, so I took up a lot more photography, took up a lot more traveling, and you know, a lot more sports, never giving that up. And I don't plan on going back to that burnout schedule of Battlefield all again. I don't care if my channel never gets big. I'm perfectly fine with a more balanced lifestyle, but I do plan on doing some Borderlands because I really like this series. Hope you enjoyed. If you've got feedback, let me know. We'll see you again in the future.